Come on, come on. Hey! There's beauty in my brokenness. I've got true love instead of pain. Hey! There's freedom though you've captured me. I've got joy instead of mourning. There's beauty in my brokenness. I've got true love instead of pain. There's freedom though you've captured me. I've got joy instead of mourning. 'Cause you give me joy
down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul.
Hey!
Down deep in my soul.
Yes, Lord, you give me joy.
Down deep in my
Hey!
soul. Down deep in my soul.
Come on.
Down deep in my soul.
Come on. There's beauty, say.
There's beauty in my brokenness.
I've got true love.
I got true love.
Is that your testimony? Come on. There's freedom though.
There's freedom though you captured me.
I've got joy.
I've got joy instead of mourning.
'Cause you give me joy.
Down deep in my soul.
Hey!
Down deep in my soul.
Hey!
Down deep in my soul.
Yes, Lord, you give me joy.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
Yes, Lord, you give me joy.
Down deep in my soul.
Down deep in my
Down
soul.
deep in my
Hey!
soul. Down deep in my soul.
I'm so glad that I've got joy.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
Say, there's beauty.
There's beauty in my brokenness.
I've got true love.
I've got true love instead of pain.
There's freedom though you.
There's freedom though you captured me.
I've got joy.
I've got joy instead of mourning.
Hey! 'Cause you give me joy.
Down deep in my soul.
Come on.
Down deep in my soul.
Come on.
Down deep in my soul.
I'm so glad that I've got joy.
Down deep in my soul.
Hey!
Down deep in my soul.
Hey!
Down deep
what the world brings. I've got joy.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
This joy that I have, joy.
Down deep in my
The
soul.
world didn't give
Down
it,
deep in my
and the world can't take it away.
Deep in my
Yeah, I've got joy.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
Anybody got joy?
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me. I've never been more secure, knowing your heart, Lord. I've never been so free, caught in your love for me. I've never been more secure, knowing your heart, Lord. Never been
so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been more.
I've never been more secure, knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been more.
I've never been more secure, knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been more.
I've never been more secure, knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been more.
I've never been more secure, knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for
I
me.
love being caught
I've
up.
never been more secure, knowing your
I
heart.
got caught up.
I've never been so free,
Caught up in your love. Caught up in your joy. Caught up in your peace. I'm so glad that I'm caught up.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been
I've
more.
more secure, knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been
I've never
more.
been more secure, knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been
I've
more.
never been more secure,
Hey!
knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free.
You ought to wave to your troubles. Tell them
I've
bye-bye.
been more
Bye-bye,
secure,
troubles.
knowing your
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been more.
I've never been more secure, knowing your heart.
I've never been.
I've never been so free, caught in your love for me.
Never been
I've
more.
never been more secure, knowing your heart.
You give me joy.
Down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul,
Yes, Lord, you give me joy.
down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul,
Anybody got joy?
down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul,
I'm so glad I've got joy.
down deep in my soul.
Joy.
Down deep in my soul,
Joy.
down deep in my soul,
Joy. I've got joy.
down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul,
I've got joy.
down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul.
Hey. I've got joy. I've got joy. I've got joy. Hey. I've got joy. I've got joy. I've got joy. You ought to say it. I've got joy. Say it.
I've got joy. I've got joy. I've got joy.
Come on, one more time. I've got joy. Say it.
I've got joy. I've got joy.
Do you really have it?
I've got joy.
Come on. You ought to raise it. I've got joy.
I've got joy. I've got joy. I've got joy.
Is that really your testimony? I've got it.
I've got joy.
No matter what the devil says.
I've got joy.
No matter what my circumstance looks like.
Joy.
I've got joy.
I've got joy. I've got joy.
It's all right if we groove.
I've got joy.
Can we groove right here? I've got joy.
I've got joy. I've got joy. I've got joy.
You got to say it till you believe it in your soul. I've got joy.
I've got joy. I've got joy. I've got joy.
'Cause you give me joy.
Down deep in my soul.
Hey.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
Yes, Lord. I've got joy.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
I've got joy.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
Last time, I've got joy.
Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul. Down deep in my soul.
Come on, if you've got joy, come on, let me hear your joy. Let me hear your joy.
Get your Bibles real quick. We're going to the book of Revelation. Revelation. Too many people don't deal with the book of Revelation, and they want to stay in John, Matthew, and sometimes Genesis. But Revelation is a book that I think we all need to be studying. I was praying to God and asking God. A lot of times we are going through so many things in life. And I know you probably have thought it too, God. Like when I joined the church, it's like it got worse. Y'all may have even thought that of me. I'm just saying being real. Because when you join the church, you think you're in a safe haven place, a place that things going to get better. It's going to get better. And I was praying and asking God, then, God, why some of the stuff that we're dealing with, why? The Lord told me to tell you this morning, the devil is coming after you. Look at your neighbor and say, the devil coming after you. Pastor, why are you telling me that? For me to get scared. You got to understand what the devil doing. The devil don't have but a short time. And he trying to stop every child of God from making it in. So don't look for a bed of ease now. It's the last and evil days. The devil is coming after you. You may not understand why these things happen to me. Even Pastor X accepts them. Why I'm going through certain things in life. Why I'm catching hell. I just don't know. The Bible says the devil coming after him. And he's trying to distract you and take you off course because he know how close it is for Jesus to come. And if he can take us off course, he did his job. Somebody said, don't look like he bothered my brothers and sisters, but you don't know what they're going through with. Because they come in with a smile on their face, that don't mean nothing now. Some people are going through things in life. You may not be going through what I'm going through, but I'm going through some stuff, but you're going through some stuff too. It may not be the same. Revelation, the 12th chapter, the 7th verse through the 12th. And a war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angel fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angel fought. But they did not prevail, neither was there place for them anymore in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, and the serpent of old, called the devil, who has deceived the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and the angels with him was cast out. And I heard a voice saying, in heaven. Now salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God, and the power of Christ has come. For the accuser of our brothers is cast down, who accused them before our God and day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of their testimony. And they did not love your life to death. You may have your seat. I'm a realist. I don't play the game. Or I don't like to hide stuff. I don't like to pretend. I like to be for real. And I pray for my people in church. I pray for my people hard in church. My son, because I see sometimes people are going through things. Many times I call name by name because I know it's not easy. And Lord, and that's why I was praying, why would people keep going through things? But when I keep talking to God, God was saying the devil is coming out trying to snatch people out of the hands of God. It don't supposed to be easy. You're supposed to go through family problems. You're supposed to go through financial problems. You're supposed to go through things on the job, but there's a way out. God is not going to let you go in something that bringing you out, knowing how to bring you out. Sometimes God let us go through things sometimes just to get a little closer to him by praying a little bit more, fasting a little bit more. Because if we don't go through anything, we won't even read our Bible. But there is a Satan, his angels are coming after his people. Revelation, this book, and many of you are aware of this particular narrative. This book was written by Apostle John. When John was in prison in this volcano island they called Patmos. And while John was in isolation on this island, he began to deal with the things that he haven't seen before. In an amazing way. When you read the book of Revelation, you will discover that through all the book of Revelation, God dealt with John by giving him signs, symbols, and sayings. God commanded John early in the book of Revelation, the first chapter, to write down all of these things that you see and hear about people. Revelation is the book that the saints need to be familiar with. It's kind of, you start reading it, sometimes you can't understand when they start talking about the seven heads, all the different things that's happening, but the saints need to get more familiar with it because we got to live through this. We're not going to live through the Noah's Ark. We're not going to really live through the Red Sea or Daniel's line. We're not living through that right now. We got to go through Revelation. We're in the last days. So we need to understand what God is saying. John is writing about these signs, symbols, and saying he recorded them. He was faithful to his assignment. And when John gets to the 12th chapter, he sees something beyond the signs and the symbols, beyond the thing that he had already seen in the past. Verse 7 says he looked up and he said, I saw a sign which he had never seen before. He saw a struggle. He described this in verse 7 as a war. And I was wondering about that. John said that I looked up and in the midst of all the signs and the symbols and the saying, I saw something that arrested my attention. John said, I saw this thing look like a war. This war was something being hit more than physical, but it was a spiritual war. And the thing that you're going through with in life, it may not be physical with somebody, but it's a spiritual warfare. Most time it's in your mind. A lot of times it's dealing with the finances, whatever, but sometimes it's things that are dealing with your mind. Why, God? Why? John saw this spiritual confrontation and cosmic confrontation. John, he writes several things about this thing that he saw. First of all, he talks about the placement of this war. It took, it took place in an unusual place. This war took place in heaven. Look at the placement in heaven. John said this war broke out in heaven. John said, I looked up, and then the strange thing that this war was in heaven, but by my own admission, this is a strange place. Why in heaven? I was shocked when I read the narrative and I saw this war plate, because you don't expect there to be war in heaven, right? You do expect there to be war in hell, yes, because the Bible says in Matthew, the 8th chapter and the 19th verse, hell is a place of torment, a place where weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. You expect war to be there. That's why we expect war to be in Afghanistan, Iraq, and stuff like that. You expect war to be there, but you don't expect war to be in heaven. It just caught my attention. Don't expect there to be a problem in a place called paradise. You're going to get it. You don't expect there to be hell in heaven, but John said there was a war broke out in heaven. I hate to burst your bubble this morning, but the saints, we getting ready to go through some war. But saints, if there's going to be war in heaven, there's no place off limit. No place. If there could be a war in heaven, it means that there could be a war place in your marriage life. If there can be war in heaven, your home could be a war zone. If there's war in heaven, our church couldn't be a war zone. If there's war in heaven, our ministry could be a war zone. Even in our community, it could be a war zone. But this thing took place in heaven. So it shouldn't be no surprise because you start going through stuff on your job. It shouldn't be no surprise because you're going through stuff in your family. It shouldn't be no surprise. But 2 John talked about the participant in this war zone. When you read Revelation, the 7th chapter, John talked about the people that was engaged in this warfare. First, he talked about the sovereign in this war zone. Revelation, the 12th chapter, the sovereign is in the verse, and it's represented as a woman. In the Bible, described as a woman, but one that clothed with the sun and the moon beneath her feet. The Bible says she woke up. She wore a crown around her head and with stars. This woman symbolized the sovereign. That's the first participant. But second, he saw another. That was Satan. Satan in verse 3, John said that the second participant of this warfare was this great red dragon. John said he described this dragon as one had 7 heads and 10 horns. What a terrible sight. John said in verse 3 that the dragon had 7 crowns on each one of those heads. There was a war broke out in this place between the sovereign and Satan. Revelation 12, chapter 7, John said there were some angels with the sovereign. There were some angels with Satan. John said Micah had a group of angels, and then the devil had a group of angels. So John is describing this confrontation and telling us about the placement of this thing that took place in heaven, the battle that took place in heaven. And he talked about the sovereign and Satan. And each one of them had their own angel. Then John talks about who prevailed in this war. He said when this war took place between the sovereign and Satan, in verse 8, Satan was defeated. Tell your neighbor, Satan was defeated. If your Bible is still up, it tells us that the devil did not prevail, neither was there a place anymore in heaven for him, so he was defeated. Can we park right there, and I give you, that ought to be a praise right there to give you a praise. You ought to give God a praise right there, because I just told you the devil was defeated. You gotta stay with me. If you miss this, you're gonna miss the sermon. John said, I saw this war, and I saw the confrontation, and I saw the battle in heaven, the Satan between Satan and the sovereign, but the devil was defeated. The sovereign and his angel, and Satan and his angel, when they push come to shove, the devil was defeated. That gave me joy. And I started praising God because that tells me, regardless of what kind of stronghold the devil got coming against me, regardless of what I'm dealing with, the devil can be defeated. You got to get that in your spirit, that regardless of how powerful the devil think he may be, regardless of what kind of stuff he carrying you through, how high he has carried the bar on you, the devil can be defeated. In the narrative, it tells us that there is nothing that you're going up against that the devil can defeat you on. Not if I got Jesus inside of me, the devil can be defeated. It's just like when you were going to school and you get into a confrontation with some people in school, and then you go home and tell your big brother, and your big brother come out there, and you know he take care of matters, and you ain't gonna, he'll tell you ain't gonna mess with my little brother no more now. I know when I was in school, they used to pick on my little brother, man. He come tell me, I'm going to take care of matters. No, you ain't going to hit my little brother no more. Anything, you're going to have to come through me. So that's how Jesus is. If you got Jesus in you, the devil can't bring nothing that he can destroy you with. No. There's nothing that the devil can defeat you. Look at your neighbor, say the devil can be defeated. You got to get that in your spirit. That's what I want you to get. The devil is not the kind of being that can be never undefeated. You need to understand, because somebody out here this morning on the sound of my voice may be having a child that is wrestling with an addiction, may have a stronghold over your life that somebody might be wrestling with a habit that you can't get. Don't seem like you can break that habit. Maybe your child is struck out on narcotics or drugs. Seem like the 10 steps and the 12 steps not helping them at all. Maybe somebody here this morning wrestling with the same thing year in and year out. Every year you thought it was good. You took care of that matter last year. This year it's popped up again. The devil is a lie, because the text teaching me that the devil can be defeated. Just because you don't know what your neighbor going through, look at them and look at them in the eyes, said the devil can be defeated. James said, if we resist the devil and submit ourselves to God, the devil will flee from you. You got to know that. You don't have to run from the devil. If you got enough word inside of you, you'll make the devil run from you. You don't have to be scared of the devil. If you got enough word in you, you can make the devil scared of you. I don't know who I'm talking to this morning, but baby, you need to get in your word and know the word, because the word can send that devil back to hell. I don't have to flee from the devil. I got enough word. I'm going to make that devil flee from me. You got to understand, because before I go any further, the devil is not the kind of being, like I said, that cannot be, he's undefeated. He's been defeated before. Why? Because in verse 17, the text teaches us that the devil is coming after us. And that's what I just said. The devil is coming after us. Look at verse 17. If you got your Bible still, when you look at it, the text, because Satan cannot defeat the sovereign. In verse 17, it said he is coming after the seed of the sovereign. When you read verse 17, the text said this dragon was so mad at this woman, and the devil was he was so mad at this woman and his attention, he focused all on this. He wanted to destroy the seed of this woman. That tells me if the devil can't defeat the sovereign, the devil is coming after the seed of the sovereign. This tells me that the devil is coming after us because of not because we sin. No, he's not coming after us because we sin, but because we are the seed. You got to understand, I got the wrong crowd. I need to go across the street. The devil is not coming after you because you didn't dot every I and cross every T. No, he's not coming at you. He's not coming after you because you had a blemish or because you messed up. But the devil is coming after you because of who you connected to. That's why he's coming after you, who you're not connected to. If you mind your own business, if you dotted every I, if you crossed every T, if you read your Bible every day, if you brought your tithes and offering every Sunday to the church, the devil still will be coming after you. It's because you're connected to God. He couldn't get Jesus, so he's coming after you. If you the seed, you say you're a part of Jesus, Jesus living in you. So it shouldn't be surprised. He came after Jesus. Why he not going to come after you? You're not above Jesus. He coming after you. That tell your neighbor that he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. That's why he's not leaving you alone. That's why he show up on your job every morning. That's why the devil is riding you so hard. The devil knows that you are the seed of Abraham. He knows that the God DNA is running throughout in your life, and you got some word in you, and he's coming after you. And the devil can't kill you. He can kill your daddy, so he's coming after you. You got to know that you are a target. You are a target. You are a target. You may have a bull on your back, but you are a target. So the devil is coming after you because he know that you know Jesus. He didn't bother the one that he already got out there. He ain't worried about them. He wanted people in the church. He want to snatch you back out, but he want to snatch you out of God's hand. That shouldn't be no surprise. So don't be surprised when the devil come after you. The devil don't like you. He don't like your praise. He don't like your worship. When you was up here praising and doing worship, the devil don't like that. So baby, he coming after you. So wipe them tears and know that the devil coming after you. But devil, you can't defeat me. He don't like you going to church. He don't like the fight that on Sunday morning you made up your mind this morning to get up to go to church. You might not feel like it, and the devil might have tried to stop you, but the devil don't like you getting on Saturday night. You people in the club and you at home ironing your clothes, getting your stuff ready for Sunday morning because you made up your mind. I'm going to church. You're gonna say, "Child, I got to get off this phone because I got to get some rest because I got to go to church. I got to cut this TV off because I got to get some rest. I'm going to church." Because the devil left you and he is going to he want to defeat you. That's what he want to do. But if we're going to defeat the devil, we got to have some examples of overcomers in our life. God knows that the devil is attacking us. He knows the devil got plans for us. So he already know that. God know that. What the Lord has done, the Lord have made sure that every last one of us in here this morning has at least one overcomer in our life that we can draw from when we start going through. God have given us an overcomer. You may be just that overcomer for me. You may be just your overcomer for your brothers. Some stuff that you may be went through that you can tell your testimony that you can help the brothers and sisters come through because you are an overcomer. Some of us have overcome some stuff in our life. If the truth be told, I'm not going to, if the truth be told, some of us been through some stuff. Every time things get hard, you can look at that overcomer thinking, but God, I see my overcomer. I see my strength over there. They made it through that. I know I can make it through that. I know. And I believe we should give God praise for overcomers in our life. Tell your neighbor, he's talking to me. He's talking about me because I'm an overcomer. And you're an overcomer for something. I don't know, it might have been drugs, maybe been alcohol, maybe been lust, maybe lying, maybe stealing, but you're an overcomer from something. I don't know. You got to be an overcomer. If you know half of the stuff that I had to overcome just this month, just this week, just this day, just this morning, you'll be giving God praise for me right now. If there ain't anybody in this house that beside me that can thank God that you're an overcomer, you should have been dead a long time ago. You should have lost your cotton picker mind a long time ago. You should have thrown in the towel a long time ago. You should have waved a white flag a long time ago. But you're an overcomer. Why I know you're overcome? Because you're in here this morning. Because you're in here this morning. Oh, man. Have you seen? I'm about to close. Thank God that you're an overcomer. And because the devil coming after you in the text, we see that some examples of overcomers in verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the words of their testimony. What the text is teaching us is if we're going to be overcome, we must have two things. What those things is. Say what, Pastor, what those two things is. Okay? I'm glad you asked. We got to have a protecting covering over us and a powerful conviction in us. That when paid somebody head. They overcame him because they had a protecting cover over us and over them, and that we are covered by the blood of the Lamb. You got to know that you are covered by the blood of the Lamb. You got to know that the reason why the weapon didn't take you out or didn't form against you because you got a covering over you. You're covered by the blood of the Lamb. You got to know that the reason why they intruded and invaded your house last night and breaking your house, it's not by the burglar bars or the IDT or the security camera. No. You got a covering over you. The blood of the Lamb is covering you. You got to know the reason why your child going to be all right when they go to college because they got a covering around them, over them. You got to know, I got the wrong crowd. Y'all are when you want to get me. You got to understand the reason why the bullet didn't take you out, why you didn't get shot when you was in the wrong place. You know you shouldn't have been there because you got a covering over you. You got to understand the reason why that person then stabbed you because you were sleeping with their husband or you were sleeping with their wife. You got to understand you got a covering over you. You got to understand the reason why that you didn't get killed in the accident that the devil tried to take you out because you got a covering over you. The blood of the Lamb is covering you. The reason why you have been bouncing back from all these setbacks and the stuff that you're going from time after again, because you got the blood of the Lamb covering you. Verse 11, he said, the reason why we are overcome because we have a protecting covering over us. But we also have a powerful conviction in us. We have a testimony. Ask your neighbor, you got a testimony. We overcame him not just because of the blood of the Lamb. We overcame because of the word of our testimony. If you cannot thank God for anything here, you ought to thank God just for the blood covering you. You thank God just for saving you. Thank God for bringing you out of some bad situation that you was in. I want you to know that, child of God, you are going to be a type. I want you to know that. It's not if, but when. You're going to be a type. I know when you put your name on the church roll, shook the preacher hand, you thought it was going to be hunky-dory. But baby, look like that when hell broke loose then. Everything started falling apart. but God, with all that happening, I still got a protecting cover or whatever, what I'm going through. You're going to be a type. You're going to definitely be a type. You need to know that you have a protecting cover over you. But also you got to have a powerful conviction in you. You got to have a testimony. A word, and you got to have a testimony that can come back the adversary. When you see something happen, you got to say, well, I know my brother came off drugs. I know my sister came off blood, so I'm going to pull by that strength. I'm going to look at their testimony, and I'm going to walk in that myself. If God did it for them, he can do it for me too. And I'm stepping out on that. You got to be able to tell the devil, this is my first time crying. I've cried before, and the last time I cried, God dried my tear before. You got to have a testimony. You got to be able to tell the devil I've been broke before. The last time I was broke, God stepped in and became Jehovah Jireh. You got to be able to tell the devil, this is not the first time my marriage was attacked. The last time my marriage was attacked, we bounced back before. You got to be able to tell the devil, this is not the first time you messed with my child, but the last time you messed with my child, they got it together and got back on the right track. And if God did it yesterday, he can do it again today. These angels, y'all sit down. These angels, they had this testimony. They had 3 testimonies in this text. And I start reading the same testimony they had to overcome for the adversary, the same one we're going to need to overcome the adversary. The first testimony was Satan could not stop the purpose of God. You got to understand, tell your neighbor, Satan can't stop the purpose of God for your life. The Bible said in verse 12 that this woman, she was pregnant. When you read the story, she was pregnant and she's getting ready to have this baby. The Bible said that she's pregnant with purpose, she's pregnant with potential, and she's pregnant with promise. And she's pregnant with purpose, she's pregnant with potential, and she's pregnant with, you got to understand that she's getting ready to give birth. The Bible says she is in labor, that she's getting ready to give birth to purpose, promise, and potential. There is somebody here that's on the sound of my voice this morning. You getting ready to give birth to purpose, promise, and potential. Because God is dealing with you. God might be dealing with you in a dream, a vision, or whatever. The devil aggravating you. That devil know you about to break loose. That devil know you about to break out of that shell. Now, I'm about to break loose, God, because you've been good to me. You know? That Bible says in verse 4, she's getting ready to give birth to purpose, promise, and potential. And there is this dragon that's standing over her. And his plan is to devour this babe up the moment the child is born. This woman is getting ready to give birth. She's getting ready to push. Tell your neighbor, push. She's ready to get ready to push out purpose. She's getting ready to push out potential. She's getting ready to push out promise. And the Bible said that this dragon is standing before her, waiting to devour this babe up once it is born. This is not any kind of dragon. This devil is so bad, it wiped out a third of heaven. This is no wimp punk dragon. No, this dragon is the real deal. And she getting ready to get pushed, and the dragon is standing there ready to eat the babe up. But in verse 5, when I kept on reading, in lieu of the devil standing there, this woman still gave birth to the baby. And the plans of the dragon could not stop the purpose of God. And that's something one should be shouting right now, because the devil can stop the purpose. Your testimony, God has ordained you to do what you need to do. God didn't let the devil stop you. No, because if he didn't want to stop you, he'd have killed you a long time ago. All of your life, the devil has been plotting and planning and trying to eat up your baby, trying to stop you from reaching your maximum potential. But the good news is, every time he tried, God was there for you. When God is for you, he's more than the whole world against you. Somebody, oh God, I pray right there. You recognize God has a purpose for you. God has a purpose for you to be the head and not the tail. God has a purpose for you to be above and not beneath. God has a purpose for you to be the lender and not borrow. They ain't got to borrow all the time. God has a purpose for your business to prosper. God has a purpose for your child to graduate and make it in life and be successful. God has a purpose for everything that you turn to gold. And you got opposition after opposition. But your testimony, in spite of the devil playing, God have been faithful to me. Somebody in here, oh God, I praise God. God been faithful to you. You almost gave up on the baby. You almost aborted the baby. Yeah. But the testimony that is, you kept on pushing. You kept on praying. You kept on standing before God. And God brought purpose through your life. Turn to your neighbor and say, I got purpose. I got purpose. And I'm operating in purpose now. If you know how many plans and tricks the devil and pitfalls the devil had for me, just to see me in church tomorrow, you'll help me give God praise. You won't even wait on the praise team there. You will help me give God praise. And because you don't know, you really don't know my story. You don't know my story. I may came here looking like I'm smiling. I may came in looking all good, but you don't know my story, what I left at home. You don't know what I left on my job. You don't know what I've been through hell. But the truth of the matter is, I'm operating in purpose. The car I drove, I purchased for purpose. The house I live in, I purchased for purpose. The kids that I raised and my grandkids, I'm raising them for purpose. When you see me walking, I'm walking with purpose. When you see me talking, I'm talking with purpose. I got purpose. You ought to high five somebody and say, I got purpose. I got purpose. I got purpose. And if you got purpose, the devil can't stop you. The devil can't hinder you. The devil can't defeat you. The devil can't kill you. Somebody say, thank God for purpose. The text said this woman still delivering. I feel it in my spirit that somebody here getting tired of pushing. You tired of pushing. You tired of praying. You tired of asking God. I know you are. Somebody getting ready to go in labor and pain, trying these different opposition. Everything come against you, confused. The devil trying to snatch you out, this dragon trying to snatch you out. He's staring you in the face. But you ought to look at your neighbor one more time and say, push one more time. Push one more time, one more time, one more time. When you've been carrying it for so long, sometimes you get tired of pushing. It gets rough. It's going over the same thing over again. You can see the head of the baby now. The baby coming out. You see potential coming out. You can see purpose coming out. You see it. I can see it coming. I believe the name praise you give God. I believe you have pushed one more time. You have pushed one more time. It's going to come out. What you've been carrying is going to come to pass in the midst of your haters, in the midst of your liar, in the midst of people on your job, in the midst of your fame. The next time you push, potential going to come out. I'm talking to someone here this morning. You have a testimony. Your testimony, you are a product of purpose. Your testimony is Satan's plan for you, and he can't stop you. You are robbing God of giving God glory when you walk in this house. You ought to be giving God all the glory. Your neighbor just don't have a clue how many people are against you. They don't have a clue how many traps the enemies have set for you. They don't have a clue how many people trying to stab you in the back, smiling in your face. They just don't have a clue. And you come to church trying to get your word on, and you all over there sounding like you cool, calm, and collected. Baby, you better get yourself up and give God some praise. God can snatch your leg from out on. God, you can't wake up in the morning, you only know your name. You better give God praise. You owe God praise. You owe God a witness. You ought to let God know, thank God for purpose. Not only the devil couldn't not stop purpose. When you read the rest of it, Revelation 12 chapter, you discover the second thing. They testified the devil could not stay in God's presence. The devil could not stay in God's presence. Verse 8 and 9, the Bible said when Michael, his anger fought against the dragon, the devil was defeated. Nor was there a place in heaven anymore for him because he got kicked out. You got to understand. The text said the moment the devil was defeated, the devil had to depart because the devil could not dwell in a place where he'd been defeated. And because the devil was defeated, he had to leave heaven. And some of you are not shy because you don't know, because I just told you the devil was defeated. He was kicked out of heaven. That gave me a mindset there. If the devil was kicked out of heaven, the hell that you giving me, devil, I'm getting ready to kick the hell out of you. Y'all don't understand. You got to get dog mad at that devil. Don't be scared of the devil. No. Devil, you got to bring it when you come over here. Satan was second in command in heaven. All over. He was over all the angels and the creating being. He was just a living Lord and God. But Ezekiel the 28th chapter, around 13 and 19 verses, talk about Satan's position. And even it was even suggested that he was a musician. He was a praise team leader. He was a choir director. He was over the music. He had a major position in heaven. Satan, he was second person in charge up there. And then when he did wrong, he got kicked out of heaven because he wasn't comfortable being in second place. He wanted to be number one because he wanted to be up there with God, but God kicked him out of heaven. And when he was defeated, he had to leave his position. You missed your chance to shout because that was a time Satan operated in your life. You got to understand. I know he did. And something you was the puppet in a sense. The devil, every string he pulled, he had you doing all kinds of what he told you to wear, you wore it. What he told you to say, you said it. Where he told you to go, you went. You was just like a puppet. But the devil don't know when you got defeated, when you got Christ in your life, you got power to kick the devil out your life. Ephesians, the second chapter, talks about that there was a time when you walked according to the course of this world, according to the princes of darkness, and giving yourself to the lust of flesh and the lust of desire. But in verse 4 and 5, it talked about God changed your state. The moment the devil was defeated, he had to depart your life. If you cannot praise God for anything else, you ought to give God a praise that the God said the devil had been defeated. The devil know exactly where you live. The devil know your phone number. The devil know your address, but he can't live there no more. Because God living in there now. If there ain't anybody here beside me this morning that can give God praise for the devil lost position in your life. The devil has lost his influence in your life. And now what come up just don't come out. I know you got some kind of control now because you got the Holy Ghost, and you don't say the stuff that you used to say. You don't do the stuff that you used to do. And you don't go to some of the places that you used to go to because you got Christ in you. You got the Holy Ghost. If there ain't anybody here that know how to curse, you know how to curse, but you just don't curse no more. You don't say them no more because God have given you power. But you still know how to drop it like it's hot, but you just don't drop it like it's hot no more. You trying to live for God. Now, I know you ain't forgot how to do it though, because Satan have lost his power in your life. Turn to your neighbor and say that I thank God that Satan have lost the power in my life. You ought to be glad that the devil has lost his place in your life and the power in your life. The thing that you ought to be happy. I would have been, if he hadn't lost that power and position in my life, the thing that you do to me, baby, I've been doing it back to you and double. That's how I am. Eye for eye. That's how I am. No, but God changed that status in my life. If the devil hadn't lost that place in my life, I would have cut a whole lot of Negro a long time ago. If the devil hadn't lost that place in my life, I laid my hands on some of you long time ago. If the devil hadn't lost that place in my life, I wouldn't be taking some of the foolishness that I hear going on around now. I want to take some of this stuff. Thank be to God. The moment the devil, God came in, patient moved. The devil moved out, patient moved in. The moment the devil moved out, long suffering moved in. The moment he moved out, holiness moved in. The next time he moved out, love came in. The moment he moved out, joy came in. The next time he moved out, temperance came in. He gave me peace. He gave me happiness. Your neighbor don't even know that they ever lost a place in your life. You got your neighbor fool thinking that you've been whole all the time. You got your neighbor fool think you never drunk no liquor. You never smoked no weed. You got your neighbor fool thinking that you always listen to gospel music. You got your neighbor fool thinking that you was always a deacon or always a preacher. You was always a usher. You was always a praise team. And no, you got your neighbor fool. The truth of the matter, that they ever had a major part in every one of our lives. Every one of our lives. Nobody, no more hardly nobody. All of us came from the same. All of us were sinners, saved by grace. Look at the neighbor, tell him, you too. You too. I know, because they look cold over there, but you too. But the good news, the devil can't stay where he's been defeated. Darkness cannot comprehend what light. The moment you accept Christ in your life, the devil lost his place. And you got a testimony. You owe God a testimony. Not only they testified that Satan could not stop the purpose, and Satan could not stay in the present. Last but not least, in closing, their testimony, Satan could not slay God's people. Satan cannot kill a child of God. You got to understand that. The first 4 words of the verse 11, they overcame him. That means everything that the devil tried, they overcame him. No matter what person the devil tried to destroy them, they overcame him. No matter what trick the devil tried to throw up a pitfall, they overcame him. No matter what kind of scandal the devil tried to put over your name in the community, in the city on you, they overcame him. No matter what confusion the devil trying to cause on your job, even in your family life, they overcame him. The text said overcame. No matter what spirit of heaviness the devil tried to hang over your head, the sins and the stuff that you did in the past, they overcame him. Because of the blood of the Lamb, God covered all of my sin. I know I did some wrong, but God's blood covered all of my sin. They overcame him. No matter what addiction I had, they overcame. No matter what generation curse that's over my family, they overcame. The devil, no matter what kind of DNA structure running through my family, they overcame. That tells me that the devil don't have power to slay God's people. He do not have the power to take you out. You may not know or think, but you are a overcomer. The truth of the matter, other people went through some of the same stuff that you went through with. And they smoking drugs now. They on dope. They drinking. They couldn't handle depression. But God said you overcame him. You got to understand, you overcame the devil. You overcame. People that went through some stuff that you went through with, they shooting up right now. Something that you think you're the only one going through with something, baby. There's some people been through some stuff too. Worse than you. But God snatched you out of the devil's hand. He didn't let the devil carry you to hell, because he could have killed you while you was out there. But God allowed you to get it together. God allowed let you to come on in and to the camp and get it together, because some people said, I've been going to church all of my life, but I can't break that habit. And then they wind up going in the dope house. They wind up start being prostitutes. They start committing suicide. They start doing, but God, some stuff that you went through, many people have committed suicide. But God didn't let it happen to you. God didn't let it happen. That was you, oh God, pray. God didn't let it happen to you. You are an overcomer. God told me to tell you, you're an overcomer. Turn to your neighbor for the last time and say, you're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. You don't know who you're sitting beside. You don't know who you're sitting beside. I'm not just a female. I'm not just a male. I'm not just a praiser. I'm not just a worshiper. I'm not just a preacher. I'm not just a deacon. I'm not just an usher. I'm not just a person that come to church, but I am an overcomer. I am an overcomer. Don't look at my title. Don't look at my position, but I'm an overcomer. And I don't put myself above nobody else. We are all overcomers something. We are all overcomers. You ought to give God a praise. You're an overcomer. The devil been trying to get everything he possibly can and make you throw in the towel. I want to tell somebody, don't throw in the towel right now. Don't throw in the towel. Just push one more time. Don't throw in the towel now. I know it's getting rough, but don't throw in the towel of everything that you've been through. But I woke up this morning closed in my right mind. I woke up this morning with the blood running warm in my vein. I woke up this morning with a church going on my mind. I woke up this morning, give God the praise. I told the Lord this morning, I'm not going to let the devil ruin what he didn't even make. The devil didn't make me. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice in it. I don't know who I'm talking to. Turn to your neighbor and say, the devil can't kill me. If the devil can't kill you, if he could have killed you, he'd have killed you a long time ago. If the devil had the power to kill you, he would have killed you when you was in the club. If the devil could have killed you, he would have killed you when you was in the back seat of somebody else's car. If the devil could have killed you, he would have killed you when you was strung out on drugs. But God spared your life. And if the devil had power to kill you, I tell the devil, you should have killed me a long time ago. It's too late now. I'm broke loose now. God, I've broken them chains. I'm broke loose now. I'm running now. You can't kill me now. Like I said, a mere fact, I woke up this morning and told the Lord, this is the day that you have made, and I will rejoice in it. And I have a testimony. I know I should have been dead. I know I should have been sleeping in my grave. I know I should have lost my mind. I should have thrown in the towel a long time ago. Somebody, oh God, praise. But you're still here. You're still here. You may be broke, but you're still here. You may be crying, but you're still here. You may be struggling, but you're still here. So you got a testimony. Once I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Through all the dangers and toils, the snares that I've been through, it was grace that brought me this far. That's why I got to give God praise. He has been good to me. He has been really good to me. Don't give up on God because he won't give up on you. Stand to your feet.
Hi, my name is Associate Pastor Tanya Harris Reese. Thank you for watching with us on today. If you would like a copy of this message, comment below or inbox us and our media team will get right back with you. If you would like to sow into the ministry, please mail a check to the address listed below or download the Giveify app and search America's Holiness Deliverance Temple. Stay connected with us through all our social media platforms. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next time.